President Biden's got a new attack line against Donald Trump, demonizing President 45 over his stance on Medicare and Social Security after President Trump said he'd be open to cutting entitlements.
But voters have been loud and clear that their top concern ahead of the election in November is the economy and immigration. Joining us now is former senior counselor to President Trump and Fox News contributor Kellyanne Conway. Kellyanne, good to see you. This is an issue that seems to rear its head it's been going on for 15, almost 20 years. Medicare and Social Security, they're going bankrupt, they're going broke. Something has to be done, and adults have to have a conversation about how we fix it. To talk about the politics of this, is it better just to kick it down the road and not discuss it and keep everything the same all the while you walk towards this cliff where they're going to go bankrupt? What should the strategy be here?
Well, Sean and Dagan, thank you for having me this evening. First of all, Politics 101 is Americans tell us what's important to them, we don't tell them. And Joe Biden is trying to force an issue through lies and attack a Republican plan that some support. It doesn't seem like President Trump necessarily does, that Joe Biden himself supported in 1975. Now, that may be because 39 years ago he was about, 42? And now is clearly a Social Security and Medicare recipient eligible. He's singing a different tune. It is never a good idea to ignore pressing issues. We have a $34 trillion debt as it is. And I think that yesterday on a different network, the president was asked about this in terms of that national debt. You can't just worry about discretionary spending. What are we going to do? Or we're going to end up with 120% GDP to debt as far as the eye can see. President Trump has made very clear he's not for cutting Social Security and Medicare, but that you can do certain things to these entitlements, as he expressed yesterday, to root out the fraud and waste, maybe raise the age since we are living longer, thank God, and the like. Good luck to Joe Biden in changing the subject on something he thinks is more fertile ground. He is underwater on practically every issue, and in all the recent polling on Medicare and Social Security is virtually tied, Biden +2. But he's negative double digits on what you showed, Sean, the economy, immigration, crime, certainly. Even education polls are now at parity for the two parties because we're having a parents' rights renaissance, and people know what's being taught and, more importantly, what's not being taught in their children's schools. So I think Joe Biden's going to continue to say this. They're going to continue to press health care. I will say for Republicans a warning, they just ignore health care. If they're not promising to repeal and replace Obamacare, something you probably voted on multiple times as a member of Congress, Sean.
I did. They
have nothing to say about health care. That is a congenital part of every woman's wish list. You want to win suburban voters? You got to talk about health care. And in the latest Fox News polling, I will answer that question about suburban women. In the latest Fox News poll, suburban women, 42% to 25% said that Trump helped them, Trump policies over Biden policies. So we got to stick to the policies.
Yeah, 21 by 21 points. This was in the New York Times poll. By 21 points, women were more likely to say Trump's policies helped them than Biden's. But I do want to bring up Alabama Senator Katie Britt. She's been on the receiving end from backlash and criticism by left-wing media outlets for her State of the Union response as she was speaking as an American mom from her home kitchen. Critics quick to blast the scene as a woman problem for the GOP. And look at the headlines. Katie Britt's big fail shows why the GOP can't connect with women. Britt backlash stokes GOP fears about losing women voters. I would call these headlines the classic Biden-like bootlicking. Just talk more about that, Kellyanne.
Well, first of all, I know Senator Britt, and I'm very proud that she's a Republican and the youngest woman to ever be elected to the United States Senate, the only mom of school-age children serving in the United States Senate as we sit here from either party. And when you look at that, when you think of some of the substance that she's carrying as United States Senator, much of what she said, I know people, we all know, don't we? People love to cherry pick and nitpick on different things for any of our performances. Any of us would like to bring back any of our things that we've said or done. But they're afraid of her. They're afraid of Katie Britt. Who does the left have? Who's the left's Katie Britt? The squad people? Give me a break. They can't even vote yes on a resolution to condemn Hamas. Dagan, the resolution didn't say anything about Israel or Palestinians or Gaza. It just wanted you to condemn Hamas. And the squad that doesn't do squat except be famous for being famous and cause trouble, as Nancy Pelosi said, a glass of water could have won in their districts. That's who they have. We have Senator Britt, and they want to take her out now. They know she's on Donald Trump's long short list for VP. They know that she's got a big future in the party, and they're going to try to kneecap her now. I think she did a great thing by going back on TV and letting people to get to know her a little bit better.
And the bottom line is that doing the rebuttal to the State of the Union is not a great position to be. It's always hard. It's always a tough position, and there's a long history of that, no matter what side of the aisle you're on. Kellyanne Conway, always a pleasure to see you. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.
And just remember, Joe Biden's State of the Union was the real disaster that night.
Yes, thank you.
Let's focus.
Thank you. Saturday Night Live makes fun of Katie Britt, but not Joe Biden talking like this. He's Fire Marshal Bill from In Living Color. Everybody of my age knows that. Thank you, Kellyanne Conway.